What's up, everybody? I'm just over here in Langrisser, picking up where I left off. Uh, for anybody that is like familiar with this, look how ridiculous this is. Sakura's moving what? 6 blocks. That is freaking awesome. I think this buff stays on her for like 3 turns at a time. Uh, it's of course from the Iron-Blooded Commander. I did already make a vid as soon as I pulled this girl. It's Florentia in her Iron Blood form. She's absolutely phenomenal. Not only can she put this formation buff on you, but then she gets to go again and kill somebody after that. That's what I just did here. And now both of these heroes, I mean, look at Bernie. Guys, he somehow has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bernie's got 7 movement. Sakura, oh no, she's only got 6. So she'll go here. Oh, and now she's got Breeze. Now she's got Breeze. Okay, so even with Breeze, it's only going to give you 6 blocks. Unless you're Bernie, you're somehow going to have 7. Am I reading that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, Bernie is 7 blocks, yo. That's crazy. Don't know why. I will take that. I will take that. Right? And then she just runs around as a mage. And depending on what equipment you give her, she's going to be able to heal the party. Especially if you give her Gift of Eternal Life. After any instance of combat, she will heal one of your party members. The one with the least amount of health. Which is cool for her too, because if she attacks somebody and does damage to herself, she'll heal herself with Heaven's Gift. Sorry, not Gift of Eternal Life. Heaven's Gift. So I dig it. She's awesome. She's given this movement for like 3 turns at a time. She's also given a debuff, not a debuff, but a defense and less chance to be critically hit and less fixed damage. She's given a ton of support, right, on top of the movement, and giving your troops 25% more to their strength, which is going to increase their damage substantially. She's doing all of that with the movement, and she's also a capable mage. So she's going to do DPS on top of that, like straight up mage DPS. And some of the modifiers that she has for her spells, I mean, she's going to be... if you have a character like her that can hit even almost as hard as Lana, but provide all the support that she does, it's just crazy. So we're going to have to see where she goes. But so far, looking at the damage modifiers, yeah, like Lana might do a little bit more, but it's not going to be that much. I mean, I think this girl is just absolutely killer, and she comes with all that support. And it's for Empire. So factions that I actually like, characters I actually run in this game. And I was actually thinking of kind of going over what I think some of the coolest things in this game are. Especially now that this game's been around, it's developed. We've seen how the power creep and everything goes. And I gotta tell you, first of all, if you're looking for a new game to play, congratulations, you just found it, because there's quite a few reasons why this title still reigns supreme. IMO, it's up there. First of all, the power creep. I can't cover this enough. It's absolutely amazing in this game. When you get a character that you like, you can still use that character a year, 2 years later. They're going to be powerful because characters get upgraded along the way. Some of my favorite heroes in this party, like Sakura, Yusuke Urameshi, these heroes are years old. They're collab characters that I picked up a couple years ago, and I'm still rocking them, and they're top tier. They're doing shit tons of damage. A lot of them have gotten stronger over the past couple years, like the Toguro Bros. One of the highest stacking units in the game, was not a priority for most people when he first dropped, because everybody had Leon built, and he's more of a select faction group. So regardless, he wasn't that great at first, but after they released different troops for him, and 3C abilities. Crazy powerful kit actually started coming together for Toguro Bros after they had already been out for over a year, right? And then all of a sudden, when you give them the werewolves and they get their 3C ability, they are a completely different kind of character to play, right? And then when this girl comes out that does all these formations and stuff, Toguro Bros not only are in her faction, they legitimately play right into her strategy because they can move and attack and then they can move and come right back. They can get into formation and then off of that formation she can put down a crazy awesome buff. So it works awesome. It works very well, and of course they're in the same faction group. So I've been wanting to get in here and just really play more with this girl. And the more that I play with her, the more I'm amazed. There's so much different stuff you can do in this game now. Like I said, even with the older heroes, even some of the lower rarity characters, they have a new evolution for them where you get some kind of prism for them. Guess what, yo? I've ran with some of them in game. They're crazy. They're super powerful. And these are like LR characters. They're not SSRs. They're not that hard to get. You just get the prism form, and they pretty much turn into an SSR character, just as powerful. They have special buffs and breaks that only they can throw that have special effects. Just very, very cool stuff. So they've done great in this game as far as power creep goes. Like, I feel good getting a hero in this title. I know it's not just going to go sit on the bench literally a month from now and just be a thrown away hero because of the power creep. Oh, the next one came out. It does this much more damage or whatever. Every single one of these characters has a niche. They have a purpose. And there's obviously the different faction groups. And there's how you want to build them. You can build all these characters much different just by putting a different rune set on a character. They can fundamentally function much different. It's one of my favorite things to do in this game is find crazy builds that people wouldn't expect. I'll give you guys an example. I am probably one of the only people that has Altamuller with a steel rune set. Matter of fact, look, if we actually go and look at any of the top Altamullers, none of them are going to have steel. They're all going to have like a red rune set. There's Breeze, there's Rough Seas. I don't think you'll find even one. Not even one. And that is hilarious to me because steel rune set is a damage reduction rune set. And Altamuller is technically a damage reduction stacking character. But everybody always just gets hung up on attack. That's it. Everybody says, oh, attack goes up by 2%. They don't even read after that. This guy stacks his attack and his defense. But he also has abilities in his kit. This one right here gives you 15%. If your hit points above 50%, damage taken from melee attacks decreased by 15%. So you got 15% damage reduction from something like this if you activate it, plus the 20% that he stacks up through his talent. So you're at 35% damage reduction. The steel rune set gives you another 10%, right? So you're at like 40-50% damage reduction. And then you get damage reduction from gear, right? This is going to, when hit points of the unit is at 100%, lower the damage taken by 40%. So you got 50% damage reduction and you take 40% less damage on the first hit, right? The point is, Altamuller just becomes a monster. It lets him be durable enough to live long enough to fully stack up, and then he's a nightmare to deal with because his attack's going to be 2,000 anyway. The thing is, just not everybody takes this approach. Almost nobody does. They're just going to go for the attack. And I found that with Altamuller, this works. This really works. And even when I did run an arena, this screwed a lot of people up. So much so, actually, that the very first build I had for Toguro Bros, I took into Arena, and he did mess some people up. I had a build where he had a different rune set. He had a rune set, I think it was Hard Rock or something. It would heal him when like he was low on health. This is when Toguro Bros first came out, and all they had was their transformation. They didn't have their 3C. They didn't have anything. I mean, they would transform and they would hit you and run away, but then the next turn they would take a shit ton of damage and be down to like 10 hit points. And they didn't have enough stuff in the game to deal with that. So but for that one turn after they transformed, they got an extra life. So if you killed them, they would come right back to life. I did some kind of thing with a rune set where I put like some kind of extra healings, and arena teams went for it. When I would stick him out there and attack somebody and leave Toguro Brothers right out in front of them, instead of focusing on the rest of my team, they'd be like, oh, why don't I pick this guy off real quick while he's at a quarter health? And Toguro Bros have a chance to give you -1 to your range. It's like a 30% chance. So if you go to punch them in the face, they can be like, oh, you can't reach me now because your 1 block reach just went down to 0. Right? And I had a rune set that could activate some healing after a round of combat or something like that. It worked. People would go in to try to take him out and finish him up. Best case scenario, he would dodge it and he would heal off of that. They would attack it with somebody else, and then when they did kill him, he'd come right back. And by then, they've wasted a lot of actions just going around him, and my entire team is moving in to close off on them and, take them out. So it worked out really well. And that's just because people don't see the rune set. Like, once these people figured out, like, shit, that guy is healing. He actually put some kind of healing rune set on him. We should just leave Toguro the hell alone. So that is one of the things I enjoy about this game. Even if we both have the same character, it goes beyond just putting a different skin on them. Just through a rune set alone, you can make a character function fundamentally different, right? And then you actually have the pieces of gear. You have the stats that you roll on them. They all have different abilities, right? I'm not running... you can only take so many at a time, but obviously you can take a different ability than I do on the same character, and we can have a completely different battle, right? So I really enjoy that, and I gotta say one of my favorite factions is this one, and that's another thing that I enjoy. This isn't a main faction. Most people do not go for Heroes of Time as their primary faction. And I can completely understand why. Especially from a free-to-play player's point of view, when you're walking into a new game and it's like, what faction do you want to start collecting? And you're interested, you start playing, you're like, okay, you're going to want to obviously pick a faction that you think you can actually collect and power up to make progress, right? So picking a faction with accessible characters to you typically, is a good choice, and I think that's where most players go. The fact is, all of these characters that I'm covering here are all of the limited collab characters from this game. Obviously, Toguro Bros, if you didn't know, are from Yu Yu Hakusho, awesome anime from back in the day. I forget where Ashram's from. It's not Dragon Quest. I don't know. We have, here's Yusuke Urameshi, of course. Trails in the Sky Joshua. Let's see, Leonhardt, I forget where he's from. There's Hiei, of course, Yu Yu Hakusho. One of my favorite rogues. This is from some collab. These little kids, they're actually in Gundams. So, like, this chick's in a Chibi Gundam. I actually think she looks pretty dope. And she has a really cool ninja mechanic. She turns into a Naruto log if you try to attack her. Which, I know that doesn't sound that impressive, but in this game, that means she can walk up to you and attack you and just stand there out in the open. And if somebody comes up to try to kill her, she'll turn into a Naruto log and she gets to live. So it lets her hit people and not get hit back, and then she can finish them off. So it's actually very useful. But all these heroes are limited, right? There's my Toguro Bros. 147 out of 150 shards. That means tomorrow Toguro Bros will actually be finished. It's been a long time coming, right? For one of my favorite collab characters, the fact that it's taken this long for me to grind out all the shards for this character, that's got to say something. It's got to say that along the way they've dropped so many cool and interesting characters that I've just been like, oh, hold on, I got to work on this one on the side, and oh, this one just dropped, and we have D-Lit, Aaron Rod. I don't know where she's from, but it was some cool anime. Shaltier. Oh, that's right. Overlord. We had an Overlord collab. In fact, they gave everybody the main Overlord character for free. And what's really cool is he's actually strong. Okay, he is not just some weak piece of shit throwaway character. Here you go, but if you want anything good, you're going to have to pay to pull a character. That is just a fact. Here, this guy is from, I wish it told, Ronin Warriors. Goodness, how could I not remember that? Ronin Warriors. Yeah, that's from Ronin. Right, and where is Mr. Kayura? She is from Ronin Warriors too, right? Where is he? Here he is. Ans Ulgaun. Yeah, this dude, this bad man Majama. This guy is badass. He drops crazy AoEs. He's a badass character. And guess what? We all got him. Everybody got him. Everybody got this guy. So all you had to do was play. So very cool that this title does that. Others don't. Others just don't. They're not going to give you an actual good character. And I mean, look at this guy. Like, look at his little chibi. He just looks badass. And I was definitely going to work on him. But the thing is, he's in Factions of Time. So, like, he's on the mage list to do. But I concentrated already on my other mage, Kurama, who is in here. Wait, why can't... There he is. Okay, he's right next to Toguro Bros. Kurama's in here. That's the mage I concentrated on. And obviously, this guy is going to be number 2. And I have a ways to go with him. I've had him for a while, but I just think he's a sweet character. Right, so this is my favorite faction just because I do like collab characters. And the thing is, I think in this title, it is manageable. In another game, I would say, no, go with a faction group or something that you know is going to be around. No limited characters. Because you want to be able to get the characters to fill the factions out, especially if they rely upon each other to unlock each other or buff each other, whatever the gameplay dynamic is. But in this title, since it is actually pretty easy to get characters, just because of how many resources you can grind out, they're really not stingy with it. If you just log in every day, collect your stuff, there's lapis you can grind everywhere. You don't even have to run the maps. You can just log in, auto run them, and you'll get some lapis. You'll get some tickets. There is no paid versus non-paid lapis currency. A ticket is worth its weight in lapis. It's very solid. Tickets are worth just as much as lapis when it comes to actually pulling characters. And there's item banners that go up once in a while. You don't have to pull on those because anything that's on an item banner, you'll be able to grind it out in the game by getting drops from the dragons and from some of the item levels. The thing is, they give their players so much lapis that people find lapis to throw on item banners. And I gotta tell you, I wouldn't do that in other games. Resources are just too tight, right? So it makes this game very enjoyable to play. The gacha is fair when you consider what you're getting the resource for, which is really nothing, right? And I do throw this game $20 here and there to support them. I have no problem doing that. It's money well spent every time in Langrisser. They have a huge Trinity voucher pack. Anytime I see one of those, maybe like once or twice a month, I just grab that. It's $20. I get like a good amount of lapis out of it, and I support a title that I actually like. And yeah, this game has grown over the years, and there's a lot to it now. The guild play is huge. We have other gachas where guilds are just popping up, and they're just they're just a lobby, you know. They're just a message box between you and like 20 other people. Well, here, guilds is already an established thing. We have guild technologies, right, that everybody in the guild benefits from. There's, of course, guild store with multiple tabs now. All sorts of awesome stuff here. And there's the actual guild events themselves. We have Guild War. Cool. We have all these to conquer together, right? Or you can just sweep them to get stuff. And then we have this. This is the new thing. I haven't even really been all up in here yet, but this is another form of guild play. Ooh, first squad attack. Right, I think I have to actually organize my units and go through all that. Yeah, I'll probably reach out to some of my guild mates and see if they want to run me through all of that. But yeah, there is a lot to keep up on, but that's awesome, right? Because that's just more stuff to do. The training, there's always new soldiers coming out. Each one of these troops that comes out changes the dynamic of a hero, gives a hero different options. And so with older heroes, they will get newer troops added to the older heroes. It's a very, very good power balance system that they have. It's just, I don't see other games with the same standard. I got to be honest with you. I see other games like just flip-flop in the meta, just spiking all over the damn place. Of course, power creep. So much goddamn power creep, your head could explode. Like, your character lasted you a week. You can get a character in Langrisser and run him a year and a half later, and it still be one of the strongest heroes in the game, especially with what gear you put on them and how you make it work. And that, no matter how you slice it, is fucking beautiful in today's gacha market, in today's gaming market that we have for this platform right now. So this is definitely one of my favorite titles because of that. Power creep. Yeah, this title's got it going on with the power creep. This is what I want to see. I really wish some other games would, I mean, I get it. Every game's going to be balanced different because they're all a different system, but it just really seems like in this title, they really, I don't know, they're geniuses or something over there. Because I just don't see anything else like this in other games, and it gives me more reason to go in here and play with my heroes that I got a year and a half ago. I love running Yusuke. Some other people don't have him, right? They missed the collab, and a lot of people are waiting for him to come back. So they must be balancing the game pretty well if people are waiting for a 2-year-old character to come back because they actually want to use him because he's powerful, because he has synergy with the other characters they have. So gotta totally give them props on that. The story here is epic. There's a lot to it. This is like all of the Langrissers put together, right? And I mean they're constantly adding features. There's a sweep button for the events now. You don't even have to go in here and run the events. These events I try to do them throughout the day because there's great resources to get in these events. And usually you just have to go through here in auto. Your team's going to win. It's just going to take you a second. No big deal. But now you can just skip that. So the fact that this title keeps getting more progressively player friendly, and there's some good quality of life stuff going on here for players. I dig it. Yeah. So as far as, why this is a title that I keep coming back to no matter what, that's pretty much it. And now I'm looking forward to the next collab, which I think I still have a couple weeks, something like that. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I just know that we have a collab coming. They give you time when they put their banners up. That's something that I've appreciated about this title. When they put like a collab up, you have like 30 days. You have 28 days or whatever it is to try to get that character. I have seen gacha games drop a banner of some ultimate limited bullshit, and it's only up for 4 days. Like some flash sale shit, 23 hours, like, and the banner's down. You better go get a mortgage on your house right now. Like, you don't even have time to get paid. Go give blood. I don't care what you have to do. This banner's going to be down in 3 hours and 12 minutes. It's like some shit like that. And it's terrible. So I've always just been happy with what they got going on here. And their summon system's fair. I got to say that. Especially considering how much of the resource you can grind out completely for free. I do believe it's like a 2 or 3%. But it's almost always an on banner. Okay, because that's the thing. Like Last Claudia is going to have a 5% rate instead of a 3% rate. But no, I'm sorry, you have to pull 10 times as many red orbs, SSRs in Last Claudia because the on banner rate is so low. Okay. In Last Claudia, I can pull 10, 15, 20 red orbs before I get an on-banner character, right? In this game, if you pull, like, it's like a 70% chance to be an on-banner. So within pulling 2 or 3 characters from a banner, you will have one of the banner characters. That's just the way that it's always been, well, for a long time now. And there is a pity system. If you keep pulling the same exact character over and over again on a banner, you can cash out copies of them for the other character type thing with a prism. The point is, it's a pretty well thought out system. So it's just it's sad to me that this is miles ahead of other games that are actually more modern. Even though those other games, technically, on paper, they're going to look better, right? On paper, 5% SSR rate looks better than 3% SSR rate, right? And that really pisses me off, but it does. And unfortunately, that's the way that it is. And you guys know which other game I'm talking about that I play that is a 5% rate. But it's just a 0% on banner rate. So I guess that's another reason why I always come back in here. But I always have a blast. So if anybody needs a good game to play, whether it's casually or if you really want to get all up in it and go through all the story of all the Langrissers that have so many. Hold on, let's see if I can grind. Can I grind some lapis real quick? Okay. Yeah, usually I can just go in here and sweep this out, and it will sweep a bunch of them all at once, and I will get 6, 7, 8 tickets, 7 pulls, something like that, because you're getting tickets and you're getting lapis just from going through that, and just all over the place you'll get lapis here and there, and it's awesome because it all ends up giving you more than enough I feel, to actually kind of be picky with characters. And you wouldn't be able to get away with it in other games. Definitely not. That is why I say in this game you can actually pick the limited faction group of heroes, and you can get away with collecting those heroes. You might have to be a little bit more careful, but it's totally doable, especially if you can be strict about it, right? You know that collab characters are coming. Save for that. Don't be tempted along the way. You will get those collab characters, right? Because you might have a collab once every couple months. If you save up the resources that you are grinding for a couple of months, you will have more than enough resources to clear whatever collaboration banner drops. I will damn near guarantee it, especially if you play at least once every other day, right? So that is really awesome that you can do that in a title like this. And I mean completely free to play, okay? Right? So that's why I always endorse this game, and I have no problem going in here and just trying to catch up, playing with new heroes, and just figuring out the way the game has changed and evolved, right? There was an AoE meta, right? Then there was a control meta. Then it goes on and on. There's arena. That's a big whole thing of its own here. They have playoffs and championships. I have not done that in a long time, and I could never get anything to sync up with my schedule. So I ran part of an arena season to unlock some skins, and then when I tried to actually run a full arena season, a week into it, I had to drop out just because of work and whatever. It was a great experience, though, and I've had lots of fun little fights, battles all over the place with a lot of great people. So it's a great title. Go ahead and definitely try it. Don't just watch me play it. Get up in here, try this thing out. There's lots to do here, and it's a huge game, right? Most games don't have as many events and things to do all at the same time. Like, there's really a lot here, right? There's some kind of little village island pie in the sky thing that they've added where, I don't know, it's like a little sim thing. You have to build buildings. Here it is, the floating city. Jeez. Oh, where's the floating city? Didn't I just tap on it? Floating realm. Yeah, there's all this. There's like this mini game, and they're constantly adding this stuff, right? I see other gacha games that are they're stuck on the same format, brah. Like, it will kill them to effing add anything at all. Guess what? One day this shit wasn't here, and then magically it just was. They did this. They put this in. They implemented this. Now you got characters walking around. And this is just stuff that they've been doing, so I got to give this title props. This is the stuff that we like to see. We like to see one of these games drop. It be a good game with a fair gacha where their player base is fed and people can comfortably play and have fun, and the title can float itself. I think this is a great balance, and they're adding new stuff. The game is changing and evolving. Out of all the gachas that I've seen and played, this one is hands down made some of the most progress. Just between the guilds, all of this was added, right? We didn't have any of this. We started with just guild wars. This grew. Now we have this dimension over here, and we have the upgrades. There's been a lot added here. And other games, I'm seeing maybe some guild added that is very simple, very basic. It doesn't have all of the features. It doesn't have all of the options. When Langrisser adds something, it's lit. It's got all the options. Did you see the fucking floating island? Did you see all this crap? they're not going to half-ass it. They're not going to give me a little piece of the map, and like, they do things right, and I've grown to appreciate that about this title. So if you want to actually invest some of your time into something that's worthwhile as a game and will keep evolving, and will somehow get rid of a lot of the power creep problems that we have with these titles, I don't think you can go wrong with this title. For how good they're doing it, for how much content that they're making, right? And for how accessible it is to everybody, especially free-to-play players. So that is why we are in Langrisser today, and I'll keep you guys posted as soon as I finish working on Togro Bros for sure. I cannot wait to see how their stats stack up. I think that Final Awakening for them gives them an extra 0.5% on their stack, which doesn't sound like much, but they already have like these monster stats. So I think we'll see good things from them, right? So best of luck to everybody. If you are making an account, I am on the Emerald Gate server, so that's where you can find me. We might have a spot or two left in the guild, so let me know if you want in. Later, everybody. Oh yeah, and if you think I'm wrong about the faction, leave me a comment. Let me know which faction you would recommend playing in this game for new players, and especially free-to-play players. Which faction of heroes would you recommend they start collecting to stay relevant in the game? Later, everybody, and I'll see you out there.